Do you have a favorite or most memorable swim meet that just sticks out in your head the most?
Probably my first nationals, and we all went down to Orlando, Florida.
Mhm.
And when we went down on the plane ride before, we all wore unicorn onesies on the plane.
Interesting choice. Who came up with that? Do you have any swim and dive specific to that sport superstitions that you follow?
I always like triple check my goggles
Okay.
under my cap, and I like readjust them multiple times before I like step up to the block.
All right, welcome back to the Next Gen podcast. Today's episode, we have our first ever high schooler. Believe it or not, this show was originally meant for only interviewing high school kids, and found out very quick that one, working with their schedule sucks, and two, a lot of them don't want to talk about themselves. So I don't know, maybe I'm scary, but today, through a series of not unfortunate events, but interesting events, I have my first high schooler on here today. His name is Landen Terflinger. We'll get into that whole story in a minute, but first, I just want to welcome Landen. Landen, thanks for being here. How you doing?
Good.
Good. Thank you for spending your day off of school with me. I know those are, few and far between.
Good to be
So,
here.
yeah. Like I said, we had a weird little story with Landen, how we got introduced. I served tables on the side on the weekends and was just ended up with some customers. They happened to have just come from a swim meet and were like super proud of their grandson. They're like, he is so cool. He's getting all these offers. Oh, you have a podcast? You should talk to him. Here's his number. It was like the weirdest little like, here's my minor grandson's phone number. Please talk to him. But it was such a like, they're so sweet, and now they come see me every week.
They love to
So
brag about me.
they do. They really do. And I
They'll
was like,
talk to
that.
anyone that listens.
Oh yeah, they both had all their like Spring Hill gear on, and they
Decked
were
out.
talking about like your times, and I was like, sorry, I don't know what that means, but sure, I'll listen to it for sure. So Landon is here. He is a junior at Spring Hill, correct?
Paola.
I was so close. I was close.
Close.
You live in Spring Hill. You go to
Yes.
Paola. Okay, junior at Paola. On the swim and dive team, and then I think either Google was giving me another Landon, or have you also done track?
I did track, yes.
See, okay, same Landon, just not accurate information anymore. Google needs to step it up today. So I liked you on the show before we kind of dive deep.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good swim joke. I think I say that every time, but it just happens to be a joke this time. Let's before we go into your whole career of how you got into swim and everything.
Mhm.
I do just some quick little icebreaker questions. So
Right.
no wrong answers, but I will judge your answers. So
Okay.
it's fine. Do you have a favorite or most memorable swim meet that just sticks out in your head the most?
Probably my first nationals. Yeah, it was in
Fair.
8th grade, and we all went down to Orlando, Florida.
Mhm.
And when we went down on the plane ride before, we all wore unicorn onesies on the plane.
Interesting choice. Who came up with that?
I think he's 1 year older than me. His name's Micah. He's
Okay.
on my team. He's my friend.
And when you're like, Dad, I need you to buy me a unicorn onesie, he was
We're
like,
all like, we need to do
okay.
something fun for our first nationals. Like, okay.
That's fair. Did people on the plane ask you about it? And like,
Yes, and then we got to tell them that we're going down to swim.
See?
It was fun.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah. Swimsuits, onesies, they go hand in hand, How was that? Did you guys like walking into that, large competition? It's just a little 8th grader.
It was like the first time I ever been in that environment.
Mhm.
It was very weird. And it was like there were so many people, and there were so many like people that were way faster than me. It was just a very interesting experience, and it was really weird.
Mhm. And from then you were like, I'm hooked. I want to keep doing this.
From then I was like, I want to go to more big meets. Like every single time I've been to a big meet, it's like, where's the next one?
Yeah.
Because it's always so much fun especially I love watching the competition
Mm.
because there's so many like people that are older than me and faster than me, especially at big meets like that.
Right.
I feel like you learn so much from being in that type of environment.
For sure. Have you had an I made it moment as an athlete?
I don't think I've had an I
Okay.
made it moment yet.
I debated
think
putting
we're
that one
getting
on there.
there.
I think you're getting there. Yeah, I debated putting it on there because usually I ask that to like my college athletes,
Yeah.
and they're all kind of like, yeah, it's when I got the call from my dream school to be on the
Yeah.
team kind of thing. And I was like, I don't know if he's had that
Not yet.
age of experience yet, but it's coming.
Mhm.
Do you have any swim and dive specific to that sport superstitions that you follow?
I always like triple check my goggles when I
Okay.
put them under my cap, and I like readjust them multiple times before I like step up to the block.
Mhm.
Because there was like one time or two times that they like flopped down when I went out the block,
Right.
and just that experience is like ingrained in my head every time I step up.
Fair enough. Like, because it probably ruins your, it just gets you out of the groove.
Just
You're
did
like, oh
horrible.
shoot,
Yeah.
can't see. It's not a big deal. Okay, can you explain to me? I don't know if this is like my siblings used to swim. I knew nothing about it except for I'd go to their events sometimes.
Yeah.
And they all were covered in like Sharpie, right?
Oh, that's more of a.
Is that a country club thing, not a high school thing?
So it depends.
Okay.
It's more of an inexperienced type of thing
Mm,
because it's writing your events in your arm so you don't miss them.
right.
But now I'm just like, I just memorize them.
You just know it.
Mhm.
Okay. So you didn't have like the like catch my bubbles written on your back?
That's like summer swim.
Yeah,
So,
that's
like,
what they did.
I coach some summer swim.
Okay. What do you
and
coach?
I'm gonna do cyclones this year, and then
Okay.
I always am.
I don't know what
like,
cyclones means.
It's an Olathe team.
Okay.
But I'm always around them, and
Okay.
I help out with the littles and stuff. And I'm on other teams and stuff. But
Fun. So if
everyone
they
always-
want catch my bubbles on their back, you're gonna help them out with it, or you're gonna say, "Hey, man, that's kind of loser-ish."
it is kind of but no, I think it's fun, and I
Mhm.
did the same thing when I was their age. So like,
Yeah.
they can have fun.
They can have like an
My
age
brother
cap
still
at when
does
they.
that.
Yeah. Right. Okay. How old is he?
He is 13, almost 14.
So he's getting on the cusp of it's starting to be. It's not cute anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think my last little intro question was just any other sports you do, which we already talked about. The Google said track.
I don't do any other sport. I'm just swimming right now.
When did you switch down to just doing swim?
So I switched after my sophomore year.
Okay.
And it was like I didn't compete very well at state swim my sophomore year, and I knew it was because I'd been doing other sports and I hadn't
Okay.
been 100% focused on swim at that point.
Mhm.
I was like, okay, it's time to pick one
Right,
sport.
right.
And I was like, well, I'm the best at swim. I have the most fun swimming.
Okay.
So I dropped.
Why do you think swim is like your it sport?
100% because I've been doing it for the longest.
Okay.
And because I have so many friends and like a great community. Like I've been on the same team since I was like 6.
Right.
So it's like I know all the coaches. They've known me for forever. I know all the people. They've known me for forever.
Right.
And running kind of sucked.
Yeah. Fair. It's kind of, I don't think of swim as like the most basic sport, right?
Yeah.
If you say, oh, I'm a high school athlete, my head's instantly going to go to, oh, you play football, you play basketball. Like those are the ones people think of, right?
Yes.
How do you kind of convince people that swim is worth? Because like I've been to a football game, right? I've only been to like one swim meet in my life besides like the little kid ones. How do you tell people like about your sport and say it's entertaining, it's fun, like this is why I care about it, you should come?
I usually compare it to like track.
Okay.
Because they are similar.
Yeah.
One's just in the water and one's running. And it's just like if you're a track meet, you always cheer on the one person. It's like you're there for more of the people and not really the team.
Right.
So it's more individualized in that aspect.
Mhm.
But I don't know. Not a lot of people go to our swim meets, especially at Paola.
That's fair. I mean, it's a smaller town in general.
Yeah.
But I, in high school, went to all of one swim meet, and it was because I was asked to work the game, like to do the media side, and I didn't have fun.
Oh, they're fun. It's just really hot.
It is hot
the whole time.
Yeah.
And it's
I didn't know what
stuffy.
to expect.
Yeah.
So like, how would you say to like, if someone was going like, okay, expect this.
Mhm.
This is what you need to focus on to actually enjoy your time.
I feel like if you're at a swim meet and you want to like enjoy your time, focus on the later heats and watching the competitiveness
Okay.
with all the different swimmers, and especially watching like the points scored and stuff. And
Explain the heats to me.
the heats, it depends. So there's circle seating, which is like,
I'm lost already, but okay.
so there's always a psych sheet at
Mhm.
every meet, and it's fastest is first, slowest is at the very bottom.
Okay.
And it'd be like fastest in the first heat, second fastest in the second heat, third fastest in the fourth heat. And it just keep going like that. That's circle seating.
Okay.
So there's always going to be one fast person in each heat. And then there's fastest to slowest or slowest to fastest. 90% of the meets I'm at is slowest to fastest.
Okay.
So the slower people swim first. And then as it keeps going, the heats get faster and faster. And then the last heat's the fastest heat.
Okay.
But sometimes they'll circle seat like the last 3 heats of a meet, just so there's not like every kid that's the fastest in the last heat. It's very weird. It's kind of hard to explain.
So to like move on then, right? And to be the kid that gets picked out of your heat.
Mhm.
Well, if you're in the top 4 fastest people, so you get put in the fastest heat,
Mhm.
but you're not the fastest of those guys, you're not in the top 4 overall.
Yeah.
See, that's where I'm lost.
That's hard. It depends on you can beat someone that's not in your heat. Like if
Okay.
like say I'm in heat 1 and I beat a guy that's in heat 8, I'm
Mhm.
still gonna be placed higher than him. Like at the end of the meet.
Okay. Still a little lost, but that's okay. That's like the one thing with like the Olympics and stuff that I'm like, wait a minute. This guy was so close to the first guy, but he's not even on the leaderboard. Why is it? It's because like the other stuff gets
Yeah.
jumbled in
So
there.
that's like at state swim.
Hmm.
There's I think there's 4 heats in your event and prelims.
Right.
And if you're not like top 8 after that,
Right.
you can't medal.
Ooh. Okay, that's tough.
Like last year I placed double ninth.
Double ninth? What does that mean?
I placed ninth in both of my events.
Okay.
So I 100% couldn't medal in both of my events. But
Mm.
I would have placed 7th in one of my events.
Yeah.
So I would have medaled, but since I was not in the top 8, I couldn't get a medal.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Okay,
So I think that's what you were asking.
Yeah. If trying to figure out swim just through
Yeah.
the whole point of this basically. When you're at a meet and you're like, okay, I just swam really well. I got a good time. I
Yes.
think I'm gonna place, but now I have to watch the same event go on 4 more times. Like, how do you kind of like mentally? Because I was thinking about it and I was like, I would just sit there and be like, I hope they suck. I hope they suck. I hope they suck because I want to do well.
I don't try to be like sit there and be spiteful and like
Mhm.
be like, oh, I don't want you to swim good because I want everyone to do the best that they can
Yeah.
because I know that I just have to get better to beat them.
Right.
So it's like I usually don't. I pay attention if I know I swim really well,
Mhm.
but normally I just go and cool down or I go and talk to my coaches. It's
Right.
like because I'm not gonna sit there and watch like if there's people that I know in those seats, I will always watch.
Mhm.
But I usually just watch like the last heat and stuff like that.
Explain to me kind of to me, swim and track are both very individualized
Yes.
sports, but obviously it is like a team. Explain to me kind of the different mindsets you have to be in of, okay, this is I'm doing something for myself that I want to win versus, okay, now I want to help my team win.
So swim is extremely individualized
Mhm.
when you're at, well, I wouldn't say smaller meets, but more like just season meets.
Right.
It's like you're doing that for you, so you
Mhm.
can make it to the bigger meets. And
Makes
then
sense.
when you get to meets like champs and stuff, like our championship meet, that's more for the team in the aspect as you want to score points so we can do better in the meet.
Okay.
Because every top 16 finish gives you your team a certain amount of points, and the team with most points wins. So
Gotcha.
you just want to be able to score. And then relays are just like you want to make sure that you
set your other people up.
Yeah, you aren't lagging behind or you want to set the next person up.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Let's do a little fashion chalk. Give me, the Speedo, right? What's the high school uniform? Were you like, oh, I'm not into because with guys at least, they have like the long ones, right? And the Speedo.
So you want the drip report. You want what everyone's wearing.
Okay.
So practice is Speedo.
Okay.
I've always practiced in a Speedo. And then most meets are going to be Speedo or brief.
Okay.
So regular season, you're not wearing like a specialized suit or anything.
Mhm.
And then when you get to end of the season, you wear what are called tech suits.
Fancy.
Yeah, they are fancy.
Aren't those like the long ones?
Those are banned now. You can't wear those anymore.
Really?
Yeah, those were just like later Olympics. That was before they outlawed them. But
okay, when I was in high school, which wasn't that long ago, it was like 4 years ago.
like girls can wear that, but
Yeah, okay. Why is it banned for guys but not for girls?
because girls have to have that part.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay. For guys, they're like, less is the least clothes possible. Perfect. Okay, so what's the difference between the two? Like, do you have a preference?
I mean, if I'm at a big meet, I'm gonna wear a tech suit because it's like it's water resistant.
Okay.
So like I could splash water on it, it would just run right off.
Oh, that's hard.
I know.
Okay, so why does that matter? You're in the water anyway. You're gonna be wet.
Less drag. You want to have the we shave our legs, we shave our chest, you shave everything before you go to a big meet because it's like you want the least amount of drag in the water possible.
Okay.
And that's what the tech suit is. It's the least amount of drag that you can have while wearing the suit.
Wow.
So like you wear them like I think mine is like 5 or 6 sizes down from what I usually wear.
What does that mean? Like, are they not just like extra small, small,
Mm-mm.
medium?
So
they're like waist.
like waist size.
Okay.
So like my practice suit is a 32,
Okay.
but if I'm wearing a tech suit, it's a 26.
Why?
Tighter on my body, less drag.
Is that not uncomfortable?
Oh, very.
Okay.
It's really bad.
Okay. It's just all for the success.
Yeah. It's
That's
like
crazy.
it takes me like first time I put my new one on, it took me 30 minutes to put it on. Now imagine what girls have to go through.
Yeah. See, I'm learning a lot today. This is very
Yeah.
educational. It was your day off school. It's my day on school.
Yeah.
Jeez. Okay. See, I didn't even think of swim as being like a um equipment matters kind of sport because like baseball, you have to have a good bat, you know. But I didn't think of swim.
There's
as...
only really, I guess, only thing that really matters is your suit and your goggles, and I guess maybe your cap. But caps don't really matter. Everyone says that like, oh, you should be wearing a dome cap or stuff like that, and it's just like it holds the shape so there's no ripples on the top.
Right.
Which those are new-ish. Like I only have one, but yeah, that's.
Okay, so you shave everything else. You shave your head for big meets.
No.
Okay, good.
I wear a swim cap.
Okay, just making sure.
I don't think my hair would grow back. I have thin hair.
That's fair. My brother just decided, not swim related, but his whole baseball team last summer all shaved their heads and came home and he looked like a convict. And I was like, not a fan of this. Not a fan of this.
Some of the guys on my team almost shaved their head before this season because a guy on our team got cancer.
That's a valid reason.
But he was like, no, don't shave your head.
Yeah.
He was like, don't do that.
Yeah, don't ruin your style for me. Yeah, I get that. Okay, so if you did shave your head and swim, would you not wear a swim cap?
I mean, if it was shiny bald, yeah.
That's fair. Shiny bald, I like that. Okay, let's get into more of like the recruitment thing. I've just been learning for the past 15 minutes.
You gotta know what you're talking about.
Fair enough. Let's kind of get into why is swim, besides for being good, but like why were you interested to keep going past, your first year in general?
It's always like I know that there's always the next step.
Right.
It's like I can't like you can plateau, but it's like I know that the plateau is only gonna be there for a little bit. It's like I always want to strive to be better.
Right.
And that has always been like a key motivator. And there's always someone that's faster than me. That's the part I love. It's like I always have something to work towards, or like a different meet that I can work towards, or qualifying times. It's like, and I know that those could be obtainable if I work hard enough.
How did you figure out like what stroke is going to be your stroke?
See, I still don't know what stroke is my stroke because I've improved so much, like on all my strokes this year, especially that I think it's more like deciding between 3.
Okay.
But I'm just going to keep working.
Right.
All of them.
Why not?
Yeah.
What is your least favorite?
Breaststroke.
Why?
I'm just not very good at it.
Okay.
It's just my.
So you need to get better at it.
It's my low point. Yes. I need to improve it. I just don't swim it a lot, and when I do swim it, it's not necessarily great. Like it's just mediocre. It's not bad. It's not good. But I would say that my other strokes are all good.
Right. Okay.
At least.
Besides for swimming laps, how do you improve and drop your times?
Weightlifting.
Okay.
Eating correctly is a big portion. Making sure your hydration is always on point because you're using every muscle in your body. So it's like you can cramp anywhere. Didn't
think about that.
Yeah. Especially when you're at practice, it's horrible. But weightlifting has been big for me in the last 2-3 years. And I feel like it's helped me improve a lot. And just one of my big things is mobility. So I do like Stretch Lab. It's a place that I go to do stretching.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff like that. And a lot of recovery stuff.
Okay. So give me are you in season right now or?
I'm out of season right now.
Okay.
I just finished.
I think Keisha, it's like winter, right?
Yeah. So I just finished my short course season, which was longer than like just high school. Because I do club all year round.
Yep.
And now I'm getting ready to flow into like summer swim. So long course season.
What's the difference between summer swim and like the high school swim?
So summer swim is long course, which is 50 yards down, 50 yards back. And winter is short course, which is 25.
Okay.
And winter is high school season, like when you're in high school.
Right.
And that's always short course. And like I'm not supposed to do club
at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how I think most sports are.
And I get one club meet during
really
high school swim. Yes. I think 1 or 2.
That's
it depends on your
interesting.
schedule.
Okay.
Like our schedule isn't full, so I have an extra meet I can fit in there.
Ours for like softball, baseball
Yeah.
was basically the day that your high school tryouts started
You can't
until
do anything.
the day of like regionals is over. You like basically aren't even supposed to talk to your coach. Like he could text you and kind of talk about non-softball related stuff, but
Mine's very like school oriented. Like some
Mhm.
schools don't want you near club at all.
Really?
Yeah. It
Huh.
really depends. Like I
Yeah.
know like my friends are on some Olathe teams and those don't really want them practicing with their club teams.
Hmm.
So like for me, it was very I want to say open.
Okay.
It was more like you need to be here certain times. You have to be here for this, but you can go to like a Saturday club practice, stuff
All
like
right.
that.
Okay. So which one do you prefer?
Club.
Why?
It's just feels the most like a team because like
Mhm.
I feel like if I had a different high school experience, the answer might be different. Because
Okay.
like there's 2 people that swim for Paola, and
I did not realize that.
we're a 4-way joint team.
Okay.
So it's like Paola, Spring Hill, Osawatomie, and Lewisburg.
Okay.
So it's all those different guys, but we just don't. I don't know. And
What does practice look like for that? Like, are you guys all doing your individual things and then meet up for meets, or
no, we have one coach.
okay?
We all practice together. We all do the same practice. We all do everything, but the experience level there ranges so much. It's crazy. So it's like we might be doing something different, but then they might have a different set just because they can't like do
Right.
that.
That's crazy to think about.
Which is really weird for so like I think there's 4 or 5 of us that are on my club team that swim for them, and it's kind of weird because it's like we're used to club practices, which are so much harder than what we do there. I don't know.
What does a club practice look like?
For me, it's more. It depends because like we'll do distance days, we'll do sprint days, we'll do specialty 1 days, which is just you work on one stroke. It's like then you have IM and you do all your different stuff, but it really depends on what we're doing that day. And like we have 2 different coaches, and one coach is like you're running through the whole practice with no breaks, and the other coach is like you'll have breaks in between, but like the sets are hard. Yeah.
Interesting.
So it varies.
Yeah. You mentioned weightlifting and eating right as like really big and like important factors in like how you have gotten better. Give me a like your in season, just like a general, what's your day, what your week kind of looks like of making sure that you're eating like intuitively, you're very like intentional about what you're eating to be healthy for your sport and like weightlifting for the same reason.
So mine would be like when I'm in season for just regular high school season for swim, I have a meet every week. So it depend on when the meet is, but normally it's club practices throughout the week, and then I do pre-meet with my high school team.
Okay.
And then I go to the meet. And then at high school meets, you can only do 2 events, and I don't have a relay because we only have 2 people, so I just do those 2. For eating wise, it's more. I don't eat out at all. During season, I don't really eat out in general though. We eat at home a lot.
All right.
But it's like chicken and rice, stuff like that. Just like more like basic meals, and just stuff that's like I know, like I eat this all the time.
Yeah,
that's
like
not
sticking to protein and veggies.
And I don't eat like a lot of like red sauce, like tomato stuff and stuff like that. But that's about it. And then normally before meets, I eat like pasta or something. I usually carb load a little bit.
Right, for sure. Okay. And then like weightlifting is there.
Yes.
You know, you can go to the gym and be like, I want to look big. I want to, you know, have strong muscles to do X. Like, what is your goals when you're weightlifting?
My goals while weightlifting is maintaining the same amount of like body fat percentage, but also gaining
like muscle
mass.
Okay, that makes sense.
And not like I don't want to be too heavy, but like I don't think that there's I haven't reached that point yet.
Right. Yeah. Do you think like as a high school kid that there are any negatives to weightlifting at such a young age? Maybe not for you, but just
personally,
in general.
no, and in general, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think that anyone that's around my age should be lifting.
Fair. See, I like agree and disagree. I think
ego lifting, no.
That's what I mean.
Ego lifting is horrible.
Right.
No one should be ego lifting at all. all, because I know people that have like
injured themselves. Yeah.
I don't think that anyone should ever do that, but I think that weightlifting the right way should always be done, like especially when you're doing high school sports.
Right. It's like you're literally growing. Why wouldn't you like help your muscles and stuff like grow in a healthy way instead of Anyways, let's get into what we really came here to do today. Anyways, talking about the start of your recruitment process. Now you're a little different than anyone else I've gotten to talk to on the show, because everyone else, it's like, okay, last year you were recruited, or 5 years ago you were recruited, and like kind of how is the outcome of that looking like? But you're in the middle of the process. So give me like when did you decide that you wanted to be a college athlete?
So it would be around the end of my sophomore year is when I decided I want to do swim in college. And before then it was like, I don't know what I want to do in college. I don't know if I want to do track. I don't know if I want to do this. And then after that season of swim, it was like, I'm going to be a swimmer.
Right.
Like, I'm just going to swim. And it was our senior class that year, like most of them went to college for swim. And I think that played a part in it too. And most of the people that I'm swimming with right now are going to college to swim. And it's like seeing them do the recruiting process and like them going to these colleges, like they feel like it influenced me more to decide to do that. And seeing that like after I'd been practicing all that summer, that some of these things might be obtainable in the future was a big motivator for me to like get to that point.
Right. So when you kind of went to your parents or your coach and said, okay, this is my plan, I want to do this, how do you even get started?
Like me deciding that with
like
them.
Deciding, saying, okay, mom and dad, I want to get recruited for swim. What do we do now? What was your first step?
My first step was more recently.
Okay.
It was more because I knew that I wanted to swim in college. It was just like, is that obtainable?
Right.
Is that an okay goal? And then after the season, it was more like in the middle of the season, I started doing it, but just starting emailing coaches.
Right.
Like in schools that I was more interested in or leaning towards, and talking to people that I know had similar experiences with recruiting and going to college for swim. And I feel like that helped me a lot. Like until more recently, it's been just gauging what I need to do and learning from other people and what they did and what the best route to take is. And then I started emailing different coaches and asking them questions, and more people started reaching out to me, and I started like emailing them back and stuff like that.
Right. Everyone wants to be like the next Patrick Mahomes, the next like Michael Phelps, but that might not be everyone's level. Have you looked at any schools? What's kind of the level that fits best for you?
My thing is I've grown a lot in this past year, and I'm not trying to short myself at all. So yes, I do have schools that are like, that might not happen.
Right.
But it's like, you never know.
Yeah.
And I'm not, and some schools, yes, are like on my level that I'm on right now. It's like, I'm not trying to shoot super high on every school I'm emailing to. It's like, I have a pretty wide range of schools that I'm looking at right now. But like I said, I've been growing so much throughout like this past short course season and stuff like that, that not necessarily I'm waiting, but I'm just keeping my options more open.
Right. What things does a school have to do or have to have, whether it's location, the team, a major they might have, Greek life, whatever, what kind of things are on your checklist of what you want for your short list of schools?
So like ideally, they can really be anywhere, but preferably somewhere that's not freezing cold.
Fair enough.
Is a big one.
Yep.
I want it to be like relatively warm, but I want like good team chemistry.
Fair.
I want people that like support others, like lift other people up, not bring them down. I want a coach that I can really connect with, because like you're going to be with them for 4 years.
Right.
I want to have a good personal relationship that I can build with this coach.
Right.
And it's like, I just want someone that I can like be free to talk about anything with.
Right.
Like someone that I'm comfortable with, someone that's not like, oh, you're just here to swim. It's like, I want someone that's personable.
Like an actual mentor, not just
a
transactional relationship. Yeah.
It's like my coaches right now are really good, and they're influencing me to pick coaches that are also good. So it's like, that's mostly what I'm looking for, but I'm also looking for like good academics. I'm looking for like finance and business right now.
I'm
which is
sure
what I
you
wanna
can find
major
that
in.
pretty easily.
I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
But I also want to be like a decent like
Yeah.
business school,
Yeah,
not
for
just
sure.
like, oh, we offer this too.
Mhm.
You know what
That
I
was
mean?
my biggest issue. That's pretty much the number one reason I decided not to play softball in college, is because the one school that I was like got an offer from, I wanted to be a journalism and sports management
Yes.
major, and they're like, "Well, we have English." And I was like, "Well, that's
See, that's what I'm saying. It's like all these schools are gonna have business, but it's like, is your
is
business
it
program
quality?"
good?
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
So, who would be, again, we've discussed. I have no idea about the swim world. Which is so funny cuz the majority of like people I have on the show is like we said, like people I know, whatever, from school, from the community.
Yeah.
So a lot of them are my baseball, softball community. I know those sports.
Yeah.
I don't know swim, you know?
Yeah.
Who would be the like Alabama football program of swim? Like they are legendary, they're amazing, they're intimidating.
Probably Florida State.
Okay. Would that be somewhere you would consider if you were offered the spot?
Yeah, but there's no way.
Okay. So what schools
There's
right now
no
are kind of like your dream, but it's
My
not too
dream
far out
school.
of
Dream, but it's not too
reach?
far away.
Yeah.
Well, most schools right now, they're calling it swimflation. It's bad.
What's that mean?
So most schools right now aren't even taking anyone, or they're taking like one swimmer.
Mhm.
It's because their rosters have been like cut, so they're smaller now.
Okay.
It was like 40, now they're like 30. So
Hmm.
most of these bigger schools aren't even accepting swimmers right now, like
Okay.
from my class
So why is that?
or certain other classes.
Like they're just deciding nationwide to cut some programs to a smaller number, or
It's bigger than that. It was a big like lawsuit and stuff, but
oh,
yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. So if that wasn't going on, what would be schools that you're like, I love this school, I love everything about it. If they offer me a spot, I'd be in.
I love Adams State. I
Okay.
love its location, and
Mhm.
that might be it's a little bit fast for me right now.
Okay.
But if I got
You have a
offered,
year.
yeah,
You have time.
that's probably
Okay.
Yeah.
You wouldn't look at like a local KU, K-State, MU.
like Mizzou.
Really?
Mhm. Mizzou would be
Mm.
that I can think of, yeah,
Oh wow.
because KU's just girls.
Okay. I was gonna say I have
K-State
a
does
friend that
have-
was on the KU swim team, so I was gonna be like,
Yes,
are you
it's-
sure?
it's just
Actually?
women.
Okay. Got it.
They cut their men's team. I don't know how many years ago.
Interesting. Okay.
Because I know a girl that's going to
Mhm.
KU next year
Gotcha.
on my swim team.
Wow. All right. So, okay, what is like the closest, like local school that you would be able to swim at?
Mizzou. But
Okay.
I don't think I'd be able to swim there.
Why is that?
Probably they're fast. I think
Okay.
they're only accepting one person from my class. But probably jury.
Okay. Good school.
Hmm.
Yeah, not too far, like 3 hours.
I would have to improve a little, like a decent amount to
Right.
be able to go there.
Mhm.
Because two of the guys on my team are going there right now. So like
You can compare.
I can kind of grasp what level I need to be at
Right.
to compete there.
Mhm.
And it's up there.
All right.
So I feel like that could be potentially obtainable.
Are you getting any pull from family members to go a certain way?
Not at all.
Okay.
Which is great because I don't like pressure. It's like I don't want to be
Fair
pressured
enough.
to go to certain places, and I want to make sure I keep all my options open. Like I
Right.
don't close any doors.
Mhm. Okay, so you still have plenty of time, right? It's
Yeah.
junior year. You're about to head into the summer season. You basically have a year to figure it out, right? You
Yeah.
graduate basically like a year from
now.
basically, yeah. What does the next year look like for you?
A lot of recruitment,
Mhm.
a lot of just trying to keep everything up in school, trying to
Right.
keep good grades, good GPA, stuff like
Mhm.
that, and a lot of swim. I'm gonna live at the pool.
Right, basically. That's not a
Mhm.
bad place to live. I
I
mean,
know.
over the summer, where else would you be anyway?
True.
Yeah.
Like, because I think I'm gonna live at Black Hawk Bay.
Yep.
I think I'll just be there all day, every day. Because
Just
I'm
working.
gonna be swimming, and then I think I'm gonna coach,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna lifeguard.
So you'll literally be there all day.
I think
And it looks
so.
like you're quite excited about it. See, that sounds like a terrible plan for
See,
me.
it'll be great for like the first month and a half,
You'll get burnt out.
and then you'll get burnt out a little bit,
Mhm.
but not from swimming, just from
Being at the same
there.
place, needing a change of scenery.
Mhm.
Yeah, I get that. Okay. All right, so other than that, I'm trying to think of what else I got. I'm having a little moment here. It's okay. This is my third one of the day. Okay. What's up?
Are there scissors? I left scissors in here the other day.
I kind of think so. Yes, there are.
Scissors that are usually in Curtis's room for us fat asses to cut our mayonnaise open with.
For your mayonnaise?
Yeah, my mayonnaise bag.
Sweet.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's Saran. He's our main evening guy.
Mm.
Again, this is the beauty of not being live.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's basically all I had to talk about. So we'll start outro stuff if that's good with you.
That's fine.
Cool. Okay. Okay, so before we wrap up, I do have like one thing that I'm doing this season of the podcast. So last season of the podcast when we started, me and my producer Easton, he's be on camera now. He's a little scaredy pants and doesn't want to do that, so he just edits for me.
Yeah.
We did a little bingo board of like what we were manifesting in the Kansas City sports area.
Yeah.
What's going on? If Travis Kelce proposed to Taylor Swift by the end of the Super Bowl, we might have gotten a bingo. That was our only shot, but everything else sucked. I had like KU football to do well, MU basketball to do well. Nothing happened, right? This year I'm not looking at my own opinions. I'm asking all my guests to fill out a box for me. So give me in the upcoming year, either for your own sports, or for like it could be, your favorite Kansas City team. What are you manifesting that happens? Maybe something for like your summer season. Like to drop time, or what's your like goal that's kind of attainable but also kind of like it's not gonna be too easy to get there?
Definitely winning an event at state next year.
In a year?
Technically, yeah, next year. Be next February is when it would be.
That's too far away.
Too far away.
Yeah. Like end of 2025.
End of 2025
is like at the latest. You don't have a like.
I'm trying to think.
Okay. I'll let you think on it.
I think out of my sport too. Because there's not necessarily one in my sport. Because summer swim's kind of meh.
Why is it meh?
Because how do I say this? I'm not the greatest at distance.
Okay.
And most of that is distance.
Okay.
And I'm mostly like a sprinter. So like when I do long course stuff, it's like if I'm doing the long course 200, it's not going to be great. So, but that's why like summer's like I'm just waiting for winter.
Right. Okay.
Where's
so
winter?
What was your like?
Even though I love the summer and I hate the cold.
Yeah, that's really confusing. You just like you wish your sport was in summer, but I got you. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, like let's think. What is your like? What was this? You said breaststroke was your least favorite.
I think we'll just do goal meet. Be like qualifying for an individual for sectionals.
Okay.
That's a good one.
For a specific like stroke or just like you in general?
Just me in general.
Okay.
Sorry it took so long.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I realize it's like a put you on the spot question, and I wouldn't know what I would say either.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, heard it here first. Landon will be qualifying for an individual event for sectionals. Okay, I was like, I don't know the right word. I said game earlier to a tennis player who plays matches, not games. That was good. It's fine. It's fine. So hopefully that can happen. I really don't win anything if my bingo board hits. Just something to entertain myself, really. So hopefully you can help out with that. I already had one of my guests fail me. He said he was going to have a hat trick in a soccer game, and he had 0 goals for the rest of the season. It's okay. It's fine. It's fine. It happens.
Maybe you doomed him.
I know. I'm thinking I'm thinking my bingo board is like actually the downfall of Kansas City sports.
Oh, maybe I shouldn't say anything.
Yeah, sorry. This is my fault. Blame me. Yeah, I had like KU to make it to like the Elite Eight and MU, both out in the first round. Chiefs 3-peat. Didn't happen. Maybe it is me.
I don't know. I guess we'll see.
We'll see. If I like black out my entire board again this year, then we're quitting the bingo game. It's over. It's not happening. All right, Landon, I think that's all I have for you. Right. Last thing before we leave, what if you were talking to like a younger Landon, who's wanting to start his swim career, what advice would you give him?
stretch more, get more flexible,
Okay.
and swim more purposefully.
Okay. What does that mean? More purposefully.
Like, don't just swim to swim, because like you can go through a whole practice and not get anything out of it.
Okay.
And because you can just swim and just make the interval every single time,
Mhm.
and you'll be fine, and you'll make it through the practice. Don't just make it through the practice. Take each practice as an opportunity to get better.
Yeah. That's fair. See, like I had an ADHD moment while you like started saying that. And you said swim more intentionally, and I thought about how when I swim I like to play mermaids and I'm 22 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And now I need to ask, have you ever played mermaids at swim practice? Because that's all I would be doing.
Maybe when I was really young. I don't
Okay.
know.
Well,
Probably at a summer
yeah,
camp.
just messing around. I think it's fun. My
We used to
boyfriend won't
put-
join me,
We used to
so
put a watermelon and we cover it in baby oil and we drop it in the
Oh.
diving well, and then
Okay.
you try to pick it up and bring it to the surface.
I don't think I could do that.
Oh,
like,
it was really
even
hard.
like
was
above
horrible.
water. Okay, lovely. All right, well that is all we have today. Per usual, this episode is brought to you by 810 Sports Radio. 810 Sports Radio, bringing you the next generation of athletes, broadcasters, sports fans, all of the above, right here on the Next Gen podcast. So, per usual, big shout out to 810 for giving us this platform. Big shout out to Landen for spending his, day off of school, waking up and actually coming out and seeing us. So we'll have to keep in touch. Maybe next year we can do a little recap. Be like, hey, look, he actually knows what school he's going to now. Something like that.
Just an idea of what to
Yeah, exactly. I have so many ideas. Landen, thanks for being here today. As usual, we'll tag Landen below on everything. Make sure you go follow him if you want to follow his, little athletic career as well. And until next time, I think that's all I got. We'll talk to you later.